Guys, I just posted a video yesterday before all of the absolute crazy happened. I got word that this happened and I was just like, dude, again, let me guess, a Democrat. So understand this here. As we're digging into the information, we're finding out that this guy's a tutor, some type of teacher. He's from California, all of these things here. And of course, the common typical, left-leaning Democrats are coming out here saying, we absolutely do not stand for the idea of violence, but yet all they talk about is doing violence towards Donald Trump and people who think like Donald Trump. Guys, I mean, this is like an ideological war that we're kind of experiencing right now in the United States of America here, guys. Just because someone has a different thought process, it doesn't mean that you have the right or the ability at all under any circumstance to go and attempt to take someone's life here, guys. This keeps happening. Whose fault is it? It's the Democrats' fault. Period. Guys, whatever they're coming out and saying from the top of their heads here, whatever their PR department is basically saying here, it is their fault. Because you keep putting out the same exact messaging to your absolutely overly emotional base of people. This man is going to destroy the world and destroy the planet. Look at all the terrible things he's doing. He makes me feel bad. He has a different opinion than me, so he needs to no longer exist. That's basically it here. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries, 2 days ago, just basically said everyone has something to say until they get punched in the mouth.
A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons. And he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly.
Breaking news at 5 a.m. Gunshots ringing out outside the White House Correspondents Dinner in Washington, D.C. The suspected shooter has been identified as a man from Torrance.
Surveillance video shows him sprinting through the lobby of the Washington Hilton, moving past Secret Service agents who drew their guns to take him down.
This morning, the investigation stretches to Southern California as law enforcement agents try to put those pieces together.
This is Eyewitness News with live breaking news.
Thank you for being with us on this Sunday morning. I'm Tim Caputo.
And I'm Abigail Velez in for Irene Cruz. This morning we have live team coverage on the shooting as we learn more about the suspected gunman from Torrance.
We do want to begin with Eyewitness News reporter Monica Deonda, who is live near the suspect's home in Torrance with the very latest there. Monica.
Tim, Abigail, good morning. Yeah, we are actually in the neighborhood of the 31-year-old suspect, Cole Allen. He is accused of firing shots at last night's White House Correspondents Dinner. This is actually his home right behind us. You may be able to see lights are on. We've seen who appear to be federal agents going in and out of the home in the time that we've been here. So still a lot of activity, but it is definitely more quiet than what we saw here last night. Take a look. This video appears to show the moment that FBI agents swarmed this neighborhood, specifically this home here on Gramercy Avenue in Torrance late last night. The law enforcement response was massive and included FBI agents in tactical gear and armored vehicles. Now check this out. At one point, Air 7 video appears to show federal agents speaking with people who live inside of that home. Later, it appeared spotlights were focused on a second-story window and the front door. Agents finally made entry shortly before midnight. And as this was all unfolding, the mayor of Torrance spoke to us right here at the scene.
The city of Torrance is a very friendly and a safe city. An incident like this, puts us on the national spotlight. And of course, we were against violence of any kind, political or racial or any type. And, we're very, very happy that the first responders agencies in D.C. captured the perpetrator immediately. But, the fact that his home is here doesn't define, the city of Torrance this way. The action of one person does not represent the entire city.
But understand this here, that person still came from your area. All right. Like, is it the entirety of the city? No, but the person still came from the environment that is being fostered in that area. So I guess the next question is, how many anti-ICE protests have been basically in Torrance? I mean, I think that's pretty much the next question here. I mean, like, if this area is known to foster a good amount of those people with that ideology, is like, who is to be surprised specifically that this type of thing is plausible, at least?
Here's what we're just learning about the suspect. 31-year-old Cole Allen graduated from Caltech in 2017 and from Cal State University Dominguez Hills in 2025. That's according to representatives for both schools. According to a LinkedIn page connected to the suspect, Allen is a trained mechanical engineer who now works as a tutor. His current employer, C2 Education, named Allen Teacher of the Month just last last year.
I
Allen
bet.
is in custody and is believed to have been acted alone in this. Now, we've also learned 2 firearms and multiple knives were recovered. And as we come back out here live again, fairly quiet on the street, but still a lot of activity going on inside of that home here behind us. And we do know that Allen is expected to be arraigned in court on Monday. Reporting live in Torrance, Monica de Anda, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
These are the people who are teaching your kids, right? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it has everything to do with the fact that you're in Torrance. I think it's more so the fact that our education system is basically flooded with people with this overall ideology here. Is it every single teacher out there? No, but for some reason, the kids are still coming out almost the same exact way these days, right? So I think we should probably look at the overall baked-in inherent bias that is in some of the teachers that are kind of facilitating education to some of your children here. I think that's probably equally as important because, again, we would not be in a situation socially, right, we're currently in if the teachers were not teaching them this literal, lefty nonsense.
Again, this all started at the White House Correspondents Dinner in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, the shooting forced President Donald Trump and other top officials to be rushed from the room. ABC's Allison Cossack continues our team coverage from Washington.
This morning, investigators are working to piece together what led up to the gunfire at the Washington Hilton. According to D.C. police, just after 8:30 Saturday night, a gunman charged a Secret Service checkpoint armed with a handgun, a shotgun, and multiple knives. Authorities say law enforcement quickly engaged, exchanging gunfire with the suspect. The suspect has been identified as 31-year-old Cole Allen. A Secret Service officer was hit in the vest and taken to the hospital. Officials say he is expected to recover.
This individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says the suspect was stopped before more damage could be done. U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, says the suspect is in custody and facing several charges.
Right now, the defendant is being charged with 2 counts, 924C, using a firearm during a crime of violence, and a second crime under 111, which is assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC News searches tied to the suspect are now underway in both Southern California and Washington, D.C. Investigators have recovered the suspect's phone and other devices and are working to obtain warrants to examine them. Preliminary information indicates the suspect traveled from Los Angeles to Chicago and then on to Washington in the days leading up to the incident. Authorities say they are now reconstructing his movements and contacts before he arrived at the hotel. Officials say the suspect suffered a knee injury during the takedown and is expected to recover. Inside
that's
the
unfortunate,
ballroom,
guys.
Witnesses and the White House travel pool describe hearing loud bangs as Secret Service agents quickly evacuated the president, First Lady, Vice President, and other senior officials. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Governor Gavin Newsom reacting to the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Newsom posted on X that he is relieved that everyone is safe and that, quote, a free press is foundational to our country. Violence is never acceptable.
I see his words, but it just doesn't make much sense when he's completely fine with these unlawful assemblies that generally happen kind of within his state that he is governing. He has no problem with those unlawful assemblies. He's basically saying these protests fall underneath the First Amendment and things like this, but a peaceful protest, for the most part, will fall underneath, without a doubt here, the First Amendment. But I wouldn't call what he was basically in support of during the massive ICE protests specifically peaceful. But him and his ilk go out consistently on a daily basis talking about punching people in the faces.
Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott was in the ballroom when the gunshots rang out.
Here's her immediate reaction after President Trump was evacuated.
Just a dramatic end to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Terrifying. We were sitting at the table here right next to the president when all of a sudden Secret Service rushed in. The president was then rushed off of the stage along with the entire cabinet as members here in this ballroom ducked for cover. I'll tell you, I've not seen moments like this since I was with the president in Butler, Pennsylvania during that attempted assassination.
Now, Rachel there was referring to the 2024 attempted assassination on then presidential candidate Trump at a Pennsylvania campaign rally.
Guys, I'm over it. I'm over all of it, bro. Right. But is this the last time that this is going to happen kind of within our modern history here? No, because everything is becoming more polarized. Every single person, for some reason, is immediately getting into their corners and saying this person is evil because they think differently. Guys, the right does the same thing. OK, the left does it probably more, though, because, again, this keeps happening and it keeps for some reason happening coming from one angle here. Right. You've told people that this man is the end times, basically. Right. His existence, him being in office, him being in power, is wrecking the United States of America. So you must do something, right? It's a moralist stance here, right? You must do something to end this man's existence. Why? Because in your head, he's the end of the United States of America, right? What happened, guys? I remember when Trump got elected this time here, and all of the people who have like alternative lifestyles were like, Trump is going to be against us. That's weird. I haven't seen any trials because of you having an alternative lifestyle. That's weird. But what? So what exactly is it? It seemed like you allowed people, all right, who only care about getting your vote to gas your head up, all right, to mobilize you against the opposition, the political adversaries of the people in power, all right. This is basically what you allowed them to do here, bro. Right? You're a clown. I need everyone to know that. Okay. It is absolutely befuddling to me that this is still happening in 2026 based off of a difference of opinion. That's it here. And it's consistently the weakest of the bunch here. All right. The weakest of the weakest of the weakest of the bunch that are saying, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and stop this because I've been told consistently in the media, right, by all of my CNN and generally ABC also, don't get that confused here, right? All of these people, I've been told in the media that this man is going to destroy the planet. This man is going to is taking rights away from people who broke into our country. Okay, so just guys, I'm sorry to be so animated here, bro. This is crazy. I'm tired of this happening, bro. That's just my own personal opinion, bro. I'm sure other people feel the same, obviously. But then the disingenuous nonsense that is coming right now from the mouths of a good amount of like super lefty people or faux. How about this here? Let's call them faux lefty people. And the reason why I'm calling them faux, as in fake lefty people, is because if you go back 5 to 10 years, right, before the advent of TikTok and Gen Z nonsense culture, right? There was an ability to actually reason and critically think here. They threw out all of their critical thinking abilities specifically to just adhere to the new voting bloc of emotional beings. Okay, that's what they did here because they used to sound intelligent. What happened? They're shilling for votes, guys. That's it here. There's nothing more than that. But guys, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. I'm glad everyone is okay here. Guys, hold on. But listen, guys, if you guys are new here, like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one. Go ahead and watch one of these videos that are popping up on the screen here, all right? I'll catch you guys later.